4 a.m. 4 a.m. You thought I was joking, motherfucker? I was dead ass serious. It's raining out this bitch. I don't give a fuck. The name of this video is Don't Give a Shit. And the reason I'm out here is I don't give a shit. The reason you see the dude in the gym squatting so much is because he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit. You shouldn't give a shit. You shouldn't care about what other people think, feel. Some people are in straight denial sometimes. So you just gotta dead ass keep your chest up, keep your head straight. You gotta be a real ass motherfucker. You gotta get out here when you don't feel like it. And straight up, just don't give a shit. I mean, you should give a shit about family, whatever we're doing. So like school or like being good to your parents. Those are all things you give a shit about. But what you don't give a shit about is the stuff that's gonna push you forward. So if you skip the gym for a week, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? You should be fucking not giving a shit. Bam, 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 each day. And if you're not doing that, you're a bitch. Straight up. Because if you wasn't a bitch, you would do that shit. Like, straight up. No one wants to be weak. If you choose to be weak, it's because you feel like you have no option. It's raining out this bitch. I said it again. I didn't think it was going to be raining. I woke up early as fuck. I was ready to get the day in. And it's raining as fuck. It's not cold. I'm glad it's not cold. Then there would have been more suffering. Does that mean I wouldn't have came out here? Fuck no. I would have still been out here. I would have still been making this video. And I'm at the park where I do my pull-ups every morning. I come out this bitch. I do my pull-ups. I do my dips. I do my push-ups. Then I jog around the entire block 3 times, 2 times, 1 time. It depends how bad my workout is. Most of the times I just do 2. But yeah, it's raining out this bitch. It's crazy. And I'm still out here making the video. So again, I'm proving the point of the title. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit about a bitch ass nigga. Straight up. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. The best advice I could give someone is don't give a shit. When people give a shit, they start smoking to look cool. They start drinking to look cool. They start doing all this dumb shit to look cool. When you look in the eyes of a real motherfucker, when a real motherfucker see you, you're dumb as fuck. You're stupid as shit. You're a dumbass bitch. Why the fuck are you killing yourself passively? You haven't said that shit before. I say that shit again. When I was doing that shit, I was like, no big deal. No big deal. You know how many people died because they're doing the same shit you did? And you're so fucking stupid, you couldn't fucking figure out the same lesson they learned when it was too late? Straight up. It's a good day today. Getting my day started in a very nice way. You know, holding it together. I woke up, bam, instantly dropped up. I wasn't gonna miss. I wasn't gonna miss. That's for sure. If I would have missed, bro, I would have been a bitch. I couldn't miss, you know. So we about to get this workout in. I'm about to do my pull-ups, my push-ups, and my dips. And yeah, I told you though, I ain't missing. 4 a.m. club, bitch. I am the 4 a.m. The fuck you thought this shit was? You thought I was joking? You thought I was playing a game? You thought I was just talking? Fuck no. I came out this bitch 4 a.m. It's 4 fucking a.m. This shit sucks. But you know what? I love the suck. Because the suck is what's going to propel you forward. You see that in your workout. You see that when you're stressing at work. All those things are propelling you forward each day. When you do that shit, you get better. So you might as well do that shit and not be a bitch. Because, I mean, bitches don't do what sucks. Because they're a bitch. If you're really like that, if you're really what you say you are, if you're really what you think you are, come out here. 4 a.m. 5 a.m. is cool, but 5 a.m. is easy. Do it at 4 a.m. and see if you're really about that shit, bro. Because at 4 a.m. waking up shit, that shit different. That shit different. That shit is different at 5 a.m. Man, I graduated from the 5 a.m. club. I started at 8 o'clock. I used to sleep till noon, bro. I started at 8 o'clock. Now I was like, okay, we got to do 7 because 8 o'clock's way too late. Started waking up at 7 o'clock for a smooth week. And I was like, all right, let's start waking up at 5. And then did that for like a week or two. And then I was like, okay, how early can I wake up without being a bitch? Then I started trying to wake up at 4. And then my brain was like, what the fuck, dude? I gotta go to sleep early and shit. This shit ain't working for me. And I woke up late, 7 o'clock on yesterday's video. And I was like, what the, bro? I was like, that's some bitch ass shit. So you know what I did? I clipped that shit. Motherfucking scissors and shit. You know, rock, paper, scissors, shoot, bitch. Like, straight up. My brain is disoriented. I woke up, I splashed some water on my face. I was like, we're getting this fucking jogging. I don't give a shit if it's raining. I ain't no bitch. I ain't backing away. If anything, you gotta look at this shit like a task. Look at it like a test. Like real shit. If you're doing a sport or if you're at school, bro, all of that shit's a test to see if you really about it. If you really about the self-improvement. Like if I was in school right now, I graduated early. If I was in school right now, I would have been doing y'all niggas up with grades. Swear to God, I would have been doing y'all up with the grades. Straight up. The reason I would have been doing y'all up is because I would carry myself in a certain way where I go to school, I learn my fucking shit, and I leave. You know? I've never had good grades. But let me tell you something. I've never been this person that I am now. And the person that I am now can do literally whatever the fuck he wants. And what he wants to do is good. So if getting good grades is good, hence good grades, I'm gonna go do that shit. Y'all are bitches. Y'all are out here going to school, smoking and vaping and shit, hanging out with fake ass, bitch ass, lame ass friends that don't even really fuck with you. And you slacking on the school shit. Your parents are like, what the fuck do you do at school? Your fucking grades are low as fuck. Why are you going to school if you're being a fucking failure? And you don't even know how to answer the question because you're sitting there high as fucking class. You just hit the cart 6 times. You're like, God damn, this shit sucks. Man, fuck the weed. Fuck the alcohol. Fuck the nicotine. Straight up. Only thing that fucking matters is waking up early as fuck. Getting your fucking workout in. Conquering your day. Getting all the tasks out the way. Straight up. Early as shit. And I'm still out here doing this shit. It's raining. When the cars drive by, I be jogging every morning. When the cars drive by, I be thinking to myself, what? Imagine seeing someone at 4 a.m. just jogging. You know how that would probably look? They would be like, what the fuck? Like, straight up. They might not give a fuck, which hence the title of this video, just don't give a shit. But they might not give a shit. But it's funny to think that motherfuckers are out here jogging at 4 a.m. and you're fucking waking up at 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, being a bitch, not doing shit, hopping on the game when you wake up, go eat breakfast. I haven't ate in a day. Swear. I haven't ate in one day. Yesterday, that last day, I did not eat shit the entire day. I woke up late. I told myself I'm not eating until tomorrow. I'm still hungry, but I'm still not going to eat yet until I'm done with this workout. So, straight up, I'm hungry as fuck. But low-key, I'm not hungry. It's crazy. It's a weird feeling. It's like I'm ready to get this shit in, get my workout in, take my shower, and then maybe I'll make a few eggs. You feel me? But that shit feel good because when you're hungry, there's a whole science behind how, like, when you're hungry, your body starts to act in a certain way where you need to get what you need to do done. It's like, it's kind of crazy. It's like some chemical compound, but I forgot the name of it, but I did read it somewhere. But all I know is that fasting is good as fuck for your mental, spiritual, physical. Like, if it has physical benefits on, like, steroids, like, you know, steroids has physical benefits. But if something has physical benefits, it's probably good for the mental too. So working out, all that shit. If you're working out, it's good for your mind. If you're jogging, it's good for your mind. If you're doing any sort of physical activity or anything physical, it's good as fuck for your mind. Sports, like, all that shit is good as fuck for your mind. Transforms you into a better person than you were yesterday, a better person than you should be, like, 5 minutes ago. And yeah, that's what this shit's really about, self-improvement. How are you self-improving? Are you being a bitch? Are you acting like you're self-improving? Are you acting like you're self-improving in front of everyone else but yourself? I mean, shit, do this shit to prove a point to yourself. Are you a bitch or not? Straight up. Are you a bitch or not? Are you a bitch or not? Are you a bitch or not? But I ain't no bitch. You know, I can be a bitch at times, but then right after, I'm back into that shit. And I'm, matter of fact, even more of not a bitch, because that ain't who I am. Straight up. I am what I am, and I ain't no bitch. Like, that shit's a consequence for too much work. But, you know, when that shit happens, we fucking feel like shit. We expand even more. It's crazy. It's some alchemy shit. Like, if something negative happens, bam, positive again. Like, literally, we transmute the forces of nature, bro. When negativity strikes, motherfuckers turn that shit into pure positivity. It might not be the positivity that other people like to see, but it's the positivity that's gonna build us up, and get us where we need to be. But motherfuckers don't understand that shit, because motherfuckers been so much dwelling in negative energy that they don't even know what the fuck positive and negative means. Shit, if I call somebody a bitch and then he starts cranking out 1,000 push-ups because he feels like a bitch, I did something positive because he built himself because I called him a bitch. And I'm not calling you a bitch. I'm calling myself a bitch. And if I can call myself a bitch for doing shit that you don't even want to do, you're even more of a bitch. So, I mean, straight up. I mean, it's all about habits, bro. If you copied a millionaire's habits, you would be a millionaire. That's how deep the habits go. Like, swear to God, it's self-automation. Like, you need to learn how to auto-suggest and reprogram your own fucking subconscious mind in your brain. Because if your brain is not programmed, it's like a fucking elastic band. You twist that shit, and bang, that bitch goes back to regular, because you didn't reprogram your subconscious mind. You try to do some shit your programming wasn't supposed to do, or felt like it wasn't supposed to do, because that's what you feed your subconscious mind. You're supposed to fucking reprogram your brain to do everything for you, and just choose to make the right choice and do it. Like, that's all that shit is. So start reprogramming your brain to make sure that you could wake up at 4 a.m. Don't just wake up at 4 a.m. tomorrow. You won't do it. And if you do it, you won't do it for long. You need to literally think to yourself in a deep meditation, I am the 4 a.m. I am 4 a.m. club. And mix it with emotion. The emotion, the energy and motion that I'm fucking putting out in these videos, that's feeling. When I'm meditating and I say I am the 4 a.m., I am the 4 a.m. dead ass. Don't just say you're the 4 a.m. Say I am the 4 a.m. and say it with your fucking chest. Say it with your heart. Say it with your mind. And watch how you naturally cohere to waking up at 4 a.m. That's what this shit's really about. Subconscious reprogramming. It's all about habits. If you had the habits of a millionaire, you would be a millionaire. The reason you aren't a millionaire is because you don't do the habits of a millionaire, and you don't do it for long enough. It's called the test of time for a reason. You're supposed to endure your habits, because that's when the consequences are most lethal. That's when the consequences are most lethal. When you have consequences of your sequencing. So basically just bubbles of what happens because of what you're doing. Like, imagine, like, I'm visualizing when I say it. I can't really explain it. But just understand, like, if you're sequencing in a certain way, so you have habits in a particular set. If you do that shit every day, it will cause sequencing. So, like, if you smoke every day, your sequence is gonna be that you're lazy as fuck. You're just always high all the time. You're in your room sleeping at 4 p.m. like a dumb bitch, and that's gonna be your sequencing. But if you're waking up at 4 a.m., you're getting your work in, then your sequencing is going to be a deadly-ass motherfucker. A motherfucker that don't miss. He don't give a shit. He fucking wakes up at 4 a.m. He doesn't give a fuck about what you think. Real shit. We don't give a fuck about what you think. Because we're going to have to wake up at 4 a.m. We're still going to get this deadly-ass workout in. We're still going to jog until our fucking lungs start throbbing in our bodies. So, I mean, we don't give a fuck about what you think, because what you think doesn't change shit. Not only doesn't it change shit, it's shit. So, straight up, get on your shit. Don't try to be an elastic band. Pull yourself in and fly back up. Don't say you're gonna do some shit. Just start reprogramming your mind to do that shit. You're not supposed to consciously do this shit. Your consciousness is 10% of the actual action. You're supposed to go deep into your mind and understand that you are what you want to do, and you naturally become. Visualize yourself already being, and don't be surprised when you just start becoming. Motherfuckers are trying to do something, but they're always trying to do something. You're not just being it. So I don't operate from a trying perspective. I am being, and I will continue to be until that shit postulates my entire being. And you can see that shit when I step out my vehicle, the vehicle that I own. And not just a regular vehicle, a vehicle that proves my state of being, a vehicle that you understand that a motherfucker like me is being would drive. And that is in the future, maybe far in the future, but I'm always gonna be that motherfucker. And that's my programming. That's where my program is gonna get me. I don't give a shit at what time I wake up. I don't give a shit about the workout. I don't give a shit if the bar is wet. I'm gonna do that shit anyways, because no one gives a fuck. The only person that gives a fuck is me. I give a fuck. So don't give a shit about the external. Give a fuck about the internal. And just be better than who you were yesterday, because that's what this shit's really about. That's what this shit's all about, is being a better person. So if you're not being a better person, you're being a bitch. You're being ignorant, lazy, and stupid. And don't be none of those three things, because if you do, you're a bitch. And who wants to be a bitch, bro? If you came into this world with a penis and balls, you don't want to be a bitch, because if you're a bitch, you feel like a bitch. And as a man feeling like a bitch, you might just end up being miserable and shit. You might end up wanting to fucking, I don't know, you might just go do some dumb shit because you're a bitch. So don't do some dumb shit because you're a bitch. And just be a dead ass, just be a real ass G. I mean, that's what this shit is really about, being a G. Getting the workout in, waking up early, going against your own mind when it's most comfortable. Because when you go against what's most comfortable, that's when you expand. Imagine, visualize with me, a box. If that box, when that box is pressurized, when you're done pressurizing it, it expands. And it expands more than it was before. So that's what this shit's really about, is self-expansion. Being more powerful, even when you feel as if you're powerless. But you are what you are. I am what I am. So you really are all powerful. You are Imperium. You have the superior soul of the spirit of man. You have the spirit of God that dwells within you. It literally says in the Bible, God dwells within you. If God is not dwelling within you, then who is? And motherfuckers would say Satan, which is symbolically true, but if God is not dwelling within you, if you're not operating from soul, you're operating from ego. If you're operating from ego, you're a dumbass bitch. Because if you're operating from ego, you don't got shit. And you gonna do the dumb shit that you always do. You gonna smoke your weed. You gonna hit your vape. And then in 5 years from now, and 10 years from now, you're gonna be so fucking damaged that if a motherfucker started chasing you, you wouldn't even be able to run away. Because he doesn't smoke, but you do. So you're instantly you're in victim lane when you do that dumbass shit. Like a dumbass bitch. So don't be a bitch. Be a man. Be a man. Be a man. Straight up. Because that's the only thing that matters. Because if you're not being who you're supposed to be, you're just being a bitch. Because you were born with the purpose to become. Like, you weren't born with zero value for no reason. And maybe your parents made you think you had value, or maybe your parents made you think you were equal to everyone, or maybe you just came along in life and decided that everyone's equal to you, and you're not. It's a fucking human race. When I say human race, I mean it literally. It's a human race. If you're losing the race, you're a bitch. This is not a friendly battle. The man next to you is not your friend. He wants the same money as you. He wants the same bitches as you, because essentially you want the highest of them all. He wants the same cars as you. He wants the same quality of living as you. So if he wants the same thing as you, but the thing we want is scarce, or maybe or rare, that means you're in competition for it. If someone wants the same shit as you, you're in competition for it. The servings aren't equal, bitch. If I'm working for a plate for me to eat, and this motherfucker next to me is working for the same plate, why the fuck are we equal? Fuck no. We're indifferent, and I'm getting that plate first, bitch. Straight up, I don't give a fuck. That's the fucking mindset you need. It's like, motherfuckers is out here thinking everyone's sweet and happy and living in a la fucking bullshit land. Shit ain't sweet. Motherfuckers will smoke your ass, bro. Dead ass. It's fucking crazy. Motherfuckers will kill other people. I would never do that. But shit ain't sweet. Because if shit was sweet, we wouldn't have people like that. And if shit was really sweet, we wouldn't have a bunch of people like that. There's a bunch of motherfuckers like that. There's motherfuckers in your school, probably right now, that act like they're like that. Because the world ain't sweet. It's a human race. Everything is power dynamics. I mean, that's the structure of the human mind. Who's gonna get the most superior existential condition of living? Who's gonna get the highest quality of being? That's what the human race is. It's all about being better than yourself, being better than everyone else, conquering inferior existential circumstance. So are you gonna stand against the circumstance and rise to another level, or are you gonna be succumbed to the circumstance that you couldn't stand in because you're a bitch? I mean, it's straight up like that. Other circumstance to last, bro. The human life is a long ass time. It's a long ass time we got on this motherfucking earth. If you're staying in the same fucking place since when you were birthed, bro, you're a fucking dumbass bitch. Straight up. And I'm gonna say, bro, dumbass bitch is my favorite word because that's what I call myself when I don't do the things I need to do. So if you're on my channel and you want that real raw motivation, if you really want that real raw drive, then call yourself a stupid fucking bitch. Because when you do that shit, you're like, nah, I ain't no bitch. And bam, 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 bam. That's how it's supposed to be. All y'all motherfuckers always be ducking the uncomfortable shit. Like, you are so comfortable that when I get into your vicinity, you make me uncomfortable. Like, I enjoy being uncomfortable. And you're comfortable? Why the fuck are you comfortable and I'm not? And, I mean, it's just like, bro, we all as men have tasks. We all have missions on planet Earth. I don't give a fuck. If you're a man, you have a mission on Earth. And your mission can either be chosen by yourself, your ego, or it can be given to you by God. And I believe that there's a path of least resistance, and that path is most abundant. I believe that you have an intrinsic purpose that you will seek throughout the world, throughout your lifetime, throughout the unfolding of your own living and your own being. And it's called the unfoldment. And I believe that you can either cohere to that unfoldment and become who you were supposed to be in the first place, or you can be a bitch and you can choose what you want to be. But what you choose you want to be won't ever be as fucking good as what you were supposed to become. Because it's called becoming, not being the same fucking bitch. Same ass, lame ass, bitch ass, lame ass, motherfucking loser that you were 50, 60, 80, 30, 20 years ago. Like, you weren't supposed to be the same bitch, nigga, that you weren't supposed to be the same bitch that came out the wound. The moment you came out that wound, you're supposed to become. And that's what I truly believe, and that's what I truly know. Because the ones that become are the ones that are, and the ones that don't become are the ones that want to be. So if you see someone that's become and you haven't became, and you're looking at the one that became and you're like, why didn't I become? Doesn't that obviously tell you that, okay, if someone else is becoming and I haven't became and I feel some type of way, I'm a bitch and he's not, and I was supposed to not be a bitch, and he chose to not be a bitch because he didn't adhere to his fucking stupid ass bitch ass ego. He just became a fucking G. Straight up. And how do you become a G? You do the same fucking sequencing every day. Same fucking set of habits. Same everything. You do the same shit every day. You become a fucking G. Straight up. You become a G when you do the hardest thing every day. Because why would you give a shit about someone else's stupid ass perception that doesn't do the hard shit you do? If I walked into a building and motherfuckers was looking at me like, oh, this guy's some type. Okay, I bust my ass when I walk into the building like I fall. I'm gonna get up and I'm not gonna give a fuck. The reason I'm not gonna give a fuck is because I understand that that same fucking morning, I woke up at 4 a.m., I got my workout in, I made my video, I fucking worked on my e-com store, and I did everything I was supposed to do. So why the fuck would I give a shit about some other bitch and what they think? I wouldn't, because they're not doing the shit I'm doing. Matter of fact, they probably woke up at 11 o'clock. Motherfuckers want to go eat some breakfast. Motherfuckers turn on the TV and waited till it was time to leave to go to the building. Motherfuckers don't operate at the same level. Nothing's equal. If you believe everyone's equal, you're a fucking loser. Like, straight up. I'm not equal and I'm not superior. Like, there's motherfuckers above me and there's motherfuckers below me. And that's just how life is. That's how life is as a man. There's motherfuckers above you and there's motherfuckers below you. You shouldn't be looking at the motherfuckers below you. You should be looking at the motherfuckers above you, because the motherfuckers above you are the ones that you can learn some shit from. The motherfuckers below you, they're just proving your point that you're as extensionally propelling yourself to where you need to go. They're just a notice sign, a beware, you're improving sign. That's all that shit is. So if you compare yourself to people that are below you, it's because you're probably below someone else. And the way the human hierarchy works is that you always probably will be below someone else. You always will be below someone else. It might not be in certain things. Like, if you want to fight, you might be below someone when it's time to fight. If you want to make money, you could have 50 million bucks and still be below somebody. But it's a human race. So your goal should be becoming that top ranking human, that top individual. Like, if you can do that, you can do fucking anything. Like, you can literally do anything. It's fucking nuts. People are straight pussies and they're not doing what they need to do to become, and they're not doing what they need to do in general because they're stupid as fuck. So let's get this workout in. It's raining. I'm ready to go and eat, but I'm gonna get my shit done because I ain't no bitch. And yeah, I made a promise, fucking 4 a.m. Now every morning I'm making my videos early as fuck. Every morning I come to the same spot. I might as well start recording now instead of waiting to the later of the day, because I mean, why not just get it in earlier? I mean, I look fucking cooler anyway if I get my shit in at 4 a.m. Niggas never woke up at 4 a.m. before. Like,